Indeed, it's a very somber tone that we would be here on a very, indeed, sad subject matter as the 41st anniversary of Roe v. Wade is brought forward here in our history. You know, I rise today in strong support of the sanctity of human life, and I know we have, as a society, an obligation to protect life in all of its forms, especially the unborn. We're confronted today by a culture that takes human life for granted and the sanctity of it. Indeed, we heard a little bit earlier that since the 41-year history of Roe v. Wade, that a decision made by a court, legislated by a court, that 56 million unborn have had their lives taken, which I think is really an unconscionable injustice for our nation. I am a pro-life advocate. Regardless of the political or status quo, I'm proud to join my colleagues in protecting the rights of the unborn and preserving the sanctity of human life. I'm a Christian, father of 4, have daughters, have sisters, have nieces. A lot of women in my life, our family's life. Of course, nothing replaces the great joy you would have in holding one of your own newborn or those of relatives or friends, and what that means, the miracle that God has given us. Watching them grow, watching them go on to become successful. How would you want to take that away? I don't understand it. Now, I know, obviously, it's a controversial subject, but where we fall short as a country sometimes is that, a lot of times, many times, is that women are in a position to have to make a difficult decision sometimes. That they may believe the only position they have is the termination of a pregnancy. At the very least, we ought to be able to stand here and make sure they have all the information on all the implications, all the options. And so, instead of sometimes a rush to make what can be a very tragic and long-lasting decision. The fight goes on. It won't end anytime soon. But in the long-term picture, standing up for the rights of the unborn as well as the sanctity of all human life, I think, is something that's essential if we're to have a belief system in something bigger than ourselves. So I hope we as a nation can do better. And I appreciate that there's folks willing to stand forward. I appreciate those folks from the doctors that spoke here tonight that are there providing women's health and the health of the unborn and those already born, that they have that perspective they brought to us as well. So with that, I appreciate the time, and I yield back.